Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are getting an urgent message from your spirit guides. I had intended to film something else, but this video just kind of popped up out of nowhere and I thought I would follow my own intuition because there's some urgent messages from spirit. So with that said, please feel free to pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Mystic Mondays deck, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are getting an urgent message from your spirit guides, and we'll just see whatever they have to say. So let's get right into it. Okay. Alright, all your cards came flying out together. I will say your Oracle card came out immediately too, so definitely an urgent message here. So we have the Three of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Empress. So we have 333, definitely an important angel number for you if you've been seeing lots of synchronicities that have to do with 3, like 3:33 on the clock, or just lots of 3s around. I would take this as a message that Spirit's trying to get your attention about something. 3 in particular is a number that is connected with joy, creativity, positivity, and fertility. It is also associated with the Empress and the Divine Feminine, so there might be some connection there. And we're going to get your Oracle cards so we can have the full message here. And we have Money Path, and it says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. Okay, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I wasn't going to tie this reading directly to money because that's, not really, we don't have any Pentacles cards or anything that talks directly about money here, but definitely the Three of Wands and the Empress can both talk about waiting to receive abundance. And if you have been seeing a lot of 3s around, I would take that as confirmation that you are in an energy of receiving, like the energy of the Empress, just ready to receive the abundance that is coming your way. And that could be just, I would take this as confirmation that you do have money, and it says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. So there might be some aspect of action, some initiative that you can take towards finding this path with money. And as the Three of Wands, the Empress, both giving me receptive energies. So there might be, when we say like waiting for you to find it, it might be more in the sense of there's some sort of perspective shift that, and a shift in your energy that is going to help you find this pathway, and it's less related to a specific action that that you can take to seek money, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think this is referring to taking a certain job or starting a certain project. I think it's more in terms of shifting your energy in a specific way that's going to open your mind up to a possibility that I don't think you are currently considering. So I want to say that. And then we will get into kind of the messages card. I will address the Three of Swords as well. So we have the Three of Wands talks about, usually it's an energy of waiting and being receptive. It's an energy usually of positivity and hopefulness, where we are assured that that our abundance, our gifts and blessings from the universe are coming towards us in divine timing. It's only a matter of time, and we might already be beginning to see some of the things that we have put into motion starting to pay off. So it's usually a pretty positive message. And then we have the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is a much heavier energy. It can talk about heartbreak. It can talk about feelings of depression and gloom. It can come up when we have been betrayed or backstabbed in some way, and just something very painful has happened. And so there might be a message here with we're shifting Three of Wands, Three of Swords to the Empress. There's something to this Three of Swords that needs to be processed and addressed and released. Honestly, with the message here, this is reminding me of a spiritual lesson that I have to learn and relearn and relearn over and over, and I'll probably have to learn it again. And because it can be a difficult message to integrate. That's why you might feel like you've been waiting for a really long time for something specific to happen. It might be related to money, or it might not, but this could be like just like a separate reassurance from spirit that there's money coming your way. But you might have been trying to attract or manifest something, or just like energetically, you know that something is like right around the corner, but where is it? And it just feels like it's not showing up. And then that might lead to this Three of Swords feeling of just like, I feel like I'm like there's no point. Like I want to give up. I feel like spirit has let me down. The universe isn't showing up for me. I feel like I've been like betrayed or gaslit by a spiritual source telling me that my abundance is going to come in divine timing, and I've been waiting, and where is it? And it can be, the energies here. I could relate to that being part of the message here, of like that feeling of really being let down while you're waiting for something to happen. And then the positive message here is we are shifting back into the energy of the Empress, which is much more related to the energy of the Three of Wands. The Empress is not necessarily waiting for something specific. The Empress is more just in an energy of, I'm going to own my power. I'm going to own my worthiness. And I know that I already have all of my abundance, and I'm already aligned with all of the abundance that I deserve to have in this lifetime, and in divine timing, it will manifest in the physical world. And in the meantime, I am going to enjoy being in my own energy. I'm going to enjoy being in the attractive, receptive energy of the divine feminine. I know that I'm an empress, and I know that I deserve to be pampered by the universe and myself. And so I'm going to focus on self-care and the assurance that I know that I am worthy of all of the good things in this world. And so that it's talking to me, as I was saying, about an energetic shift. And I think that it's also reminding me, like, if this message is resonating for you, of like feeling like you've been waiting for a long time and it's not happening, you're starting to feel really let down or upset or heartbroken about it, the way, for me, the thing that has worked in order for me to get back into an Empress energy has been to remind myself that the reason why I practice the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking, and I do affirmation work, and I really work on my self-care routine and my self-esteem, and try to balance, the masculine elements of self-care, taking care of my responsibility, doing practical things, and the feminine aspects of self-care, of like nurturing my spirituality and that type of thing. I really do that for my own mental health. It's not to attract, it's not really to attract money. It's not really to attract specific things. I think it's really easy to get caught up in like the spirituality world, when we are told that we can manifest and attract anything and everything that we want. It's really easy to get caught up in like, oh, well, I really would like to have more money. I really would like to be living in like a beautiful place. I really want to be like, I want this fantastic life. And that's great. It's okay to want things. It's very much okay to have goals. But the thing for me is I need to remember to take it back to, if I'm doing some type of manifestation work and it's making me feel worse than I did before I started, then it's not helpful for me. Then if it's causing pain, then it's not helpful for me, and I need to shift my approach, and I need to realign my priorities. And so for me, again, like reminding myself of that, when I get too caught up in, I want this specific thing, and then I'm upset that it didn't happen, or it didn't happen when I thought that it would, or it's not happening fast enough, for my timeline. Again, reminding myself that I do these law of attractions, power, positive thinking, affirmation work because it is good for my mental health to be in a positive and abundant mind frame. And when I'm in that positive, abundant, receptive energy of the Empress, I feel good. And anything that I do that makes me feel good is something that is in alignment with my priorities. To put it that way. I really hope that I've explained that clearly. I hope that I'm communicating this clearly, and that hopefully it is resonating for you. I will say, like, if none of what I've said has resonated for you, then your message might be in a different pile. But that's really how I'm being called to kind of interpret this mixture of energies here. Again, with the number 3, I think you are being encouraged to lean into the more receptive side of the Divine Feminine. You know, there's an energy of like not pushing, not forcing, just kind of going with the flow of the universe. It's like, you know, life on life's terms, doing things in the universe's timeline. And there's a reassurance here that a path with money is waiting for you to find it. And I think that part of it is really, it's just about this energetic shift where we're moving from like expectation and anticipation into, I already have everything that I need. And I am very grateful to the universe for putting me in such an abundant position. And then using that affirmation and energy to attract the abundance without expectation. To put it that way. I know that's so much easier said than done to be in that type of energy. So I don't want to... I want to validate that this is not an easy energetic shift to make. It's really not. And to you know, there are times, as just speaking from my own experience, there are times when I know I've been in this energy and then something tips the balance and I'm back here again. You know, and as I said, like, it's a lesson I need to keep relearning. So, you know, I've been through this process numerous times, and you know, it's about progress and not perfection, as they say. So I did want to say that, and with that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading for today. I really hope that that this has been helpful and maybe offered some clarity, insight, maybe a little bit of reassurance from Spirit for you. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I am currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Cosmic Visions Tarot, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are getting an urgent message from your spirit guides. We'll just see whatever comes out in the cards, whatever messages they have for you today. So let's get into it. Okay. We have the Father of Cups. This would be the King of Cups. Okay. We have the Nine of Swords. Okay, and we have the Father of Pentacles. This would be the King of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. Lots of masculine energy here, and that could be your energy regardless of your gender. Could be the energy of a particular spirit guide or somebody else in your life. We're going to grab the Oracle card just for some additional context. Okay, so we have Mule, and it says, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think I have an idea of what's going on here. So I think that this is advice for you. I think that whoever this Mule character is, if this might, I'm getting the sense that this Mule represents somebody else in your life who is creating obstacles for you. And the challenge of this is to learn how to continue to nurture, show up, and advocate for yourself despite what other people choose to do. You know, it's bringing me back to that, the idea that, you know, I cannot change what somebody else chooses to do. You know, I can't control what somebody else is choosing to do. I can't control somebody else's choices. I can't control their behavior or their thoughts or their feelings. The only thing that I can control is how I choose to respond to it. There might be a message here about that. I think that, as I said, I think that the tarot cards are advice from shifting your energy from the King of Cups, because this is creating a Nine of Swords situation, into the energy of the King of Pentacles. And I think that there's a strong message here. You are not doing anything wrong. Unfortunately, there are people like this in the world, people who are extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. You know, we cannot force somebody else to change. That has been a very hard lesson that I've had to learn in my own life. You know, it can be very difficult to accept this, especially when it's somebody that we love, and especially when it's somebody that might even be, you know, doing something self-destructive or something that is hurting themselves. You know, it can be very, very difficult to get out of this cycle where we feel the need to help somebody or you know, keep encouraging them to make changes when they're not willing to do that. So I definitely can empathize with that. And with your energy here being represented as the King of Cups, like, it's not a bad energy to be in. It's not even the energy of the Page of Cups, where there might have been like a little bit of naivete, like a little bit, you know, somebody being maybe a little bit too open to other people's energies with no boundaries. The King of Cups does have solid boundaries, but this is a nurturing energy. This is a loving energy. It's a caretaking energy, and you know, and whatever energy is being represented by this King of Cups might be misaligned to this situation because it's leading to a Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a heavy energy. It talks about anxiety, depression, dark thoughts, negative spirals, feelings of hopelessness or despair. You know, we're trapped in this web. How am I ever going to get out of here? You know, this spider is bearing down on me. What am I going to do? I feel like I don't have any recourse. I feel like I'm just going to be here forever in this dark place. That's a very heavy and dark energy to be in. And I think that part of the message here is that, you know, this spider is not going to change. What they're doing here, this is in their nature. It's like the parable of the scorpion, which I think I'm kind of like paraphrasing, but my understanding of that parable is that there are certain things that are like in the scorpion's nature, you know, even self-destructive things. You know, it's like this mule spider, they're not going to change. So it's up to this person on the Nine of Swords to realize, oh, I have the tool to escape here. I have this sword. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to hold this card up. There is a sword tucked into this web that is wrapped around this person. And so if they grab the hilt of that sword, they'll be able to cut through the web and get themselves out of this situation. And so there's a message that you have the tools that you need in order to change what you decide to do here. And that, I think, is bringing me back to, we can't control what other people do. We can only control what we choose to do. And sometimes the only thing that we can do in a situation is escape it. And so I don't know if or how that resonates for you, but I just want to reiterate, there's reassurance here from Spirit that you're not doing anything wrong, and you have what it takes to untangle yourself from this web. You do. And I think part of it is going to be, again, there's nothing wrong with being in a King of Cups energy, but we're making a shift from the King of Cups energy into the King of Pentacles. And I think this is the energy Spirit's urging you to be in to address this situation. The King of Pentacles is it's a very similar energy to the King of Cups, still very nurturing energy, still a caretaking energy. And the King of Cups is very responsible. The King of Pentacles also very responsible, takes care of themselves and anybody else who is in their care. But both of these energies have a strong sense of responsibility. And I will say, I think the King of Pentacles has a little bit more willingness to make a delineation between, okay, these things are my personal responsibility, and the other things are your personal responsibility, and I am not going to take responsibility for the things that are your responsibility, to put it that way. Like, I think that the King of Pentacles is just a little bit more clear on what belongs to whom, whereas the King of Cups might be a little bit more willing to take on something for somebody else out of kindness. So I do want to say that, and I would say like the main difference between these two energies is the King of Pentacles is also very practical. It's an energy that is grounded into the physical world. It is an energy of showing up every day and of making sure that you are doing things that are supporting your long-term goals. So it's saying, I'm going to put something into motion today because I hope to see a payoff from it a month from now, 6 months from now, a year, 5 years, 10 years from now. I'm going to put that into motion today because I have a long-term goal that I want to achieve. So if part of your long-term goal is to work on your mental health, get away from situations where you feel stuck or trapped, getting away from this feeling of despair or feeling like, how do I manage this situation? How do I deal with somebody who's in this energy? The long-term goal here would be to do what is best for you, to protect yourself in this situation. And I think that the short-term step to that would be to take whatever the next action is that helps separate whose responsibility belongs to whom. Just getting very clear with yourself and definitely with this person, but with other people in your life, getting very clear on what things are my responsibility, and then taking the responsibility for grabbing that sword that you have right here and starting to cut these ties that are binding you into this energy here. And that might have to do with letting go of a relationship with somebody who is not willing to change, or at the very least, practicing some loving detachment. So some emotional detachment from this situation, because there's a message here that it is not serving you to continue to engage with this person, to continue to be emotionally engaged with this person. There could be a practical concern here where you cannot cut this person out of your life completely. That's totally understandable. But there's a term called loving detachment, where it's like, because I love you and I want to continue to have a relationship with you, I cannot be emotionally involved. And that, I think, is an important principle that might be related to the message here today. So I will say, if none of this has resonated for you so far, that this might not be your pile, is kind of a specific way to interpret these cards. And I think that those are the messages that we have for you today. And I want to just again give a little bit of reassurance. You will not be in this energy forever. I think that this is a very difficult situation to deal with. I think you're doing a great job if you're being represented here as the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. You're doing a great job. Like, you might also resonate as like, you don't really need to hear this because you already know it. In which case I would just take this as a confirmation that you're doing a great job. You're on the right path, and your spiritual team is just cheering you on. You do have spiritual support, even if it's not immediately obvious to you. You do have spiritual support, for sure. And it's okay also to ask Spirit for help and for guidance if you feel that you need that as well. And I also want to say, just before we close out the reading, that it's the Nine of Swords, but it's the Nine of Swords. And a 9 is a number that is associated with completion and fulfillment. Is almost the 10. Like, you're almost at the end of this situation. You're getting through it. It's not going to last forever. So again, there's definite encouragement there from your spirit guides. And yeah, so with that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Hopefully it has provided some context or clarity or insight or reassurance for you. Hopefully it's been helpful. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I am currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Prism Tarot, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are getting an urgent message from Spirit. And I will say that as soon as I picked up this deck and started shuffling for your pile, I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my third eye area. So this might be talking about maybe like a little bit of a blockage in your third eye if you feel like you haven't been receiving messages, or you feel like you're a little bit confused about what the guidance is. Hopefully I'll be able to provide some clarity, and there could also just be a message that Spirit really wants to get into contact with you. So that could be why my third eye is suddenly feeling a lot of pressure. And I will also say that, again, as soon as I picked up the newer deck, you know, I just filmed pile 1 and 2 and I wasn't feeling these sensations, but as soon as I picked up your deck, my throat is also feeling very congested. So there might be some throat chakra stuff related to your reading. I don't know. We'll see what comes out in the cards. So with that said, let's get into it. What urgent messages do you have for... Okay. All right, we have the Knight of Cups. Very nice. What urgent messages do you have? Card 3. We have... this would be the King of Pentacles. So I've been shuffling for a while and Spirit keeps giving me half the deck, sometimes when this happens in a reading, I interpret it as like, this is one part of the message, and so once we have dealt with whatever is being talked about in these cards, then there's going to be, it's almost like a blockage or an obstacle or a delay is being removed, and then everything's going to start flowing out. It's like, you know, a dam and a river, when we remove the dam and then the river starts flowing. So that's what Spirit is showing me and urging me to say. I think that's why, you know, we get these 2 cards and then like half the deck is coming out, because it's like when we've addressed this, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. With that said, we are going to get just one more card for you. Message. Okay. All right, so we have, this is the 6 of Swords, and let me double check, that is the 6 of Swords. I sometimes get confused with the 6 and 7 of Swords in this deck, just because the 7 of Swords in this deck has a sailboat on it, which is imagery that I associate with the 6 of Swords. This is the 6, so yeah, I mean, that would make sense if we're getting half the deck after this Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles situation. It's like we're moving on from something, we're transitioning into something else, and that's when things are going to start to flow and change and shift. It's like the river is going to start flowing again when we move forward from this. So we are going to get your oracle card just so we can have the full context of the message for today. Okay, we have a handshake, which says, a meeting with a stranger could be important. And that is really interesting because we do have a knight here. And knights in the tarot represent messengers, and they can represent, for sure, somebody else's energy. Okay, I'm starting to get some intuitive messages here. So this Knight of Cups, I think, represents somebody else. The King of Pentacles, I think, represents your energy. And there is some aspect here that I'm being drawn to of the King of Pentacles, not a negative energy to be in, but because it's Pentacles, it can be a little bit stubborn. And I think there's a message here. If you feel like you might have been in one place for a long time, if you feel like you have... you know, I don't know if this resonates. You could be perfectly happy where you are, but the king, you being represented as the King of Pentacles is talking to me about somebody who feels very secure. Like you feel very kind of safe and stable and grounded where you are. And like the message here is somebody is coming in to kind of shift things around for you. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be in a negative way. I think that, and I don't necessarily think you're in a negative energy right now. So I just think there's a message to be prepared and to kind of maybe just go with the flow. Like somebody in the energy of the Knight of Cups is going to come in. It's going to transition you into something new. And it's, I mean, even like this king's like not looking at this knight, you know, but this knight's kind of like, here, I'm offering you my cup. And the king is like, well, I already have my hands full with these pentacles, you know. And then, but this person, again, there's someone, a meeting with a stranger could be important. Somebody that you don't know. So you're a stranger you have not met in this lifetime yet. It's going to be coming in to offer you something. And it's something related to emotions. You know, then the Knight of Cups is related to somebody making a romantic offer because it's connected with emotions and relationships. So, you know, a messenger connected to emotions and relationships can talk about somebody coming in and like asking you out or asking you on a date or making a romantic advance towards you. But it doesn't have to be related to that. It could be somebody making any kind of like emotional overture or any kind of relationship offer, and it can't even be like, it could be totally unrelated to the idea of starting a new relationship. It could just even be like with a handshake. This is bringing me even maybe to like a business relationship, like a meeting and a handshake deal. Like this could be coming into contact with somebody, and then there's some feeling that is triggered here. There's some emotion that this like random unexpected like it's going to trigger something that's going to shift you out of this comfortable, stable place where you're at and transition you into the next phase. So it's like someone's coming in to push you out of your comfort zone is what is coming to me. And again, like I don't think it's a negative message. I think that it's like again, it's not negative to be in the energy of the King of Pentacles. This is not a bad place to be. It's just there is something waiting for you over that horizon, and you won't be able to find it if you stay here. That's what's coming to me. So I know I'm being like vague, but it's a general reading, and this could be interpreted a bunch of ways. The way I'm being called to interpret it is, again, like somebody's coming in to kickstart the next phase of your life. And there's a message, and the reason why this is coming through is like an urgent message from Spirit is there's a message here like it's just an urging from Spirit to remain open-minded. You know, there can be like almost a reluctant energy to the Six of Swords, like an energy of I didn't want to have to go on this journey, but you know, if this is what I have to do to get to the other side of the horizon, then I've accepted that this is where I'm at, you know, and there's a message about that. So, you know, I just like, I want to be honest. I'm not seeing it, as I said, like I'm not seeing any major causes for concern. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I just think that Spirit's trying to draw your attention to this so that when it does happen, you'll be in an energy where you will be able to recognize like, oh, this is happening because I am meant to shift. I'm meant to go on a journey. I'm meant to transition to something else. That, I think, is part of it. I mean, there can also be a message associated with the Six of Swords about traveling. So it could also be that there's something to this meeting, this Knight of Cups. It's an opportunity also, you know, with going out of your comfort zone, could be an opportunity to travel as well, like to go on a literal journey. And I think that, again, you're being encouraged to just follow the path that you are being led down, because it's going to start the river flowing. And there's lots of beautiful, really good things that are going to happen. When I was getting half the deck and I kept shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, Spirit did show me the Judgment card and they showed me the Death card. And I think that those are really important. They also showed me the Void card, which You know, in this Prism tarot deck has 2 special cards. The Prism card, which talks about being really open to spiritual guidance, like your connection to spirit is very open and very strong, and so, you know, you can trust whatever messages are coming through. And then there's the Void card, which can be related to the feeling I was having of maybe a blockage in the third eye, of like, you know, the your like spiritual connection is a little bit blocked, and so that might be something that is happening because you are in this King of Pentacles energy. If that makes sense. Like, again, it's grounded, it's practical, it's rooted in the physical world. Maybe not so directly connected to your spiritual guidance. And again, it could be that, you know, I'm seeing spirits showing me somebody like calling over and over and keeps getting the voicemail, and, you know, and it's like you're sitting there kind of screening your calls and being like, well, I'm waiting for a call from, you know, my sister or my accountant, and spirits keeps trying to reach you, you know, if that makes sense. So So with that said, I think that those are the messages that I have for you today. Hopefully there has been something helpful, useful, maybe some clarity here for you, or like some information. Hopefully that has been helpful for you. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how this resonated for you. Spirit's interrupting my outro to remind me that I was having throat chakra stuff, so there's some aspect here like to be open to communication from spirit and from whoever this stranger is. So keeping the lines of communication open. So sorry. Back to the outro. I do have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content. I also have an Etsy store where I am currently doing private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video.